Greetings and salutations, loyal viewers of this channel. My name is Sean, and today I want to talk about this situation revolving around the Disney Corporation, because recently it was reported that a wrongful death lawsuit was filed against a Disney-affiliated restaurant where somebody who had severe allergies and supposedly, according to the complaint, warned the staff of severe allergies, was served food that they were in fact allergic to. Now, this, according to the complaint, resulted in a death, and this caused the husband of the person who died to file a complaint against Disney, a lawsuit, seeking $50,000 in damages, lost wages, and funeral expenses. So not a gigantic complaint, and not something we would normally cover on this channel. However, Disney is actually pushing for a dismissal of this particular case, even though, again, it is a small amount of money, because through their research, they found that the husband, who is filing the lawsuit, signed up for a free trial of Disney Plus in 2019, and supposedly, in that free trial agreement, he agreed to settle all disputes with Disney and affiliated entities in arbitration. So we have an absolutely mad case that is being presented to us by the Disney Corporation, and if successful, they will essentially, along with almost every other application on your phone, thing that you opt into, agree to, be immune from lawsuits. Now, we're going to get into this, but before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
Developing tonight, a grieving husband filed a lawsuit against Disney after his wife died at Disney Springs. But Disney wants this case thrown out because the man signed up for the Disney Plus channel years ago.
Now, as soon as I saw this story, as soon as it crossed my wire, the very first thing that I thought of was that episode of South Park, the Human Centipede episode, where Kyle found himself in more and more precarious situations due to the fact that he kept agreeing to Apple's terms of service, and they kept getting significantly more absurd.
So Manny, Disney claims by signing up for that streaming service, this husband waived his right to sue the company.
Yeah, Disney says that.
Now, while there was a point in that episode about how we're just agreeing to all this stuff, long page after page of legal jargon, the fact of the matter is most people watched that episode and assumed to a certain extent that this was ridiculous and absurd. Obviously, they can put a bunch of legal jargon in their terms of service, but the fact of the matter is people agree to these very quickly, and the idea that they would be legally enforceable on such a grand scale is not really something people believe to be a reality. But Disney is going for it right now, and what I find to be incredibly troubling about Disney going for it is the fact that they're doing so in a case that doesn't even involve a high dollar amount. Again, I said it before in the open, this is a lawsuit filed seeking $50,000 in damages. Now, maybe there's punitive damages on top of that, but it seems like the husband in this scenario just wants the lost wages, he wants some money for consequences, but he also wants funeral expenses covered, and considering what his complaint says and alleges, if proven to be true, this should be the bare minimum for Disney when Disney Springs did not provide the security that they promised in relation to this food.
Yeah, Disney says the terms of Disney Plus say users agree to arbitration in disputes against the company, so the filing should be moved out of the courts. Jeffrey Piccolo filed a lawsuit after his wife died last year from a severe allergic reaction after eating at a restaurant at Disney Springs. The suit says the couple repeatedly warned staff about her allergies. Disney says Piccolo signed up for a 1-month free trial back in 2019, agreeing then to the terms and agreeing again when he bought Epcot tickets last year.
So look, obviously they're trying to use the 2019 Disney Plus subscription, but they're also trying to use a purchase of tickets for something called Epcot and the terms of service associated with that as a legal basis in order to get this case dismissed, because supposedly in perpetuity, when you sign up for Disney Plus for a free trial and then you do this other thing, you are agreeing to never have the ability to sue them for any reason or any affiliated entities at all whatsoever till the end of time, in perpetuity. And to me, this is rather absurd, and it should be absurd to the court. They should throw this out, because if you really think about it, you guys opt into these agreements all of the time with every single app that you use, with all these different updates, with Google, with Facebook, with Instagram, with all these various companies, Twitter even, and the idea that you could be wholly immune from lawsuits in perpetuity for a trial membership or for buying tickets to an event is asinine. I mean, again, even if you say that that tickets to events agreement is legitimate, it should only be legitimate for the time period that you're actually present at this event. And this is one of the things that really worries me about this particular case, because let's say the court comes down in the way that they should, which is throwing out Disney's argument as it is laughable and stupid. They could actually do it in such a way that leaves the door open for these types of agreements to be enforced in this manner in the future. This is something that I think is going to be tested over and over and over again in the court system, and Disney is just the first person on this, the first corporation to act in this way, and let me explain why. What the court could actually rule in this scenario is that the agreement is probably enforceable, but the fact of the matter is the trial period expired in 2019, and the ticketing period for the event that was purchased the year before, that also expired. Therefore, that agreement is just subject to that time. However, if you were an active member of Disney Plus, if you held an active subscription, the court might actually argue that that is upholdable in the future if they decide to do a narrowly tailored ruling on this specific case. And this is absolutely troubling in every possible way. It's devastating because essentially you think you're paying for a streaming service, but the Disney Corporation is making sure that you waive your rights to a lawsuit going forward in perpetuity. And by the way, these agreements are everywhere. If you buy movie tickets through an app or through the internet, you have to agree to the terms when you do that. That could waive your rights to sue the movie theater and any affiliated entities, and so on and so on. They're everywhere. And this was specifically at a restaurant. What if they have you sign something or do something like that when you book a reservation online? You could be subject to the same exact arbitration process separate from your rights to actually sue somebody if they poison one of your relatives, which is what is being alleged in this specific case.
Piccolo's lawyers say it's preposterous the agreement can be extended to wrongful death or personal injury claims, adding it, quote, borders on the surreal.
Now, the attorney in this particular scenario says that this is preposterous, and of course I agree. And again, I just thought of, right now on the spot, another avenue which this could be enforced that's absolutely devastating. What if you're an employee of Disney? What if you work at the company or you work for an affiliated entity and you happen to have, if there's not already an arbitration agreement in your employment contract, a Disney Plus subscription? What if you're subject to racial or gender-based discrimination? What if you are seriously injured or killed at work? Does that mean that you as an employee, despite all of the labor laws that may exist in your state or federally that protect you, have no ability to sue the Disney Corporation? They are completely immune from your claims. They can opt out of each and every lawsuit, no matter what it is, no matter what their violation. And this could potentially extend to other companies if they're affiliated with Disney, or if they put up a very broad terms of service that you ended up opting into when you agreed for some other completely unrelated service completely unwittingly. That seems to be a rather asinine proposal. That seems to be a rather absurd take, but that is what is being presented to us by the Disney Corporation, a way for them to subvert any illegal accountability just by getting you to sign up to watch the Marvel TV shows or the Star Wars TV shows. I know everybody's been raving about their absolute favorite Star Wars this show, The Acolyte, but imagine if you, when you're watching The Acolyte, don't have this feeling that you love every single decision that they made from casting to story. You love how it definitely doesn't contradict any of the lore, but it also deprives you of your rights going forward when engaging with the Disney Corporation, no matter what they do. Again, if you could fall off a roller coaster, but your Disney Plus subscription makes you immune or makes them immune from consequences, what incentive do they have to actually not be negligent, to actually take safety protocols? Sure, they might lose some money if accidents become super prevalent at their specific resorts or theme parks or whatever, but this is expanded to protect all of their affiliated brands, probably worldwide, and Disney owns a lot of different things. I mean, if you end up signing up for Disney Plus, and let's say you were defamed by ABC News, something that President Trump is suing over right now, Theoretically, if he had a Disney Plus subscription under his name, he would have waived his right to sue George Stephanopoulos for defamation in that particular case. If the court rules that way, then this gives extra immunity to reporters who do fake news. And remember, Disney Plus has something like 150 million subscribers.
An attorney I spoke with says, we sign these agreements all the time. The judge will consider the wording and the timing of when it was signed.
So they're talking about how the judge will consider the wording and the timing of when the agreement is signed as a mechanism to decide, and that is also worrisome to me because you could end up in a situation, like I said earlier, where an active subscription ends up protecting the Disney Corporation from legal ramifications, but maybe an inactive subscription, because this was a trial from 2019, doesn't do that. What we need is for this to be thrown out whole cloth, because you cannot put such broad protections in these agreements in this way for things that are completely unrelated to the service that was being provided. Again, if you subscribed on my website and that gave me the right, because it's in the terms of service, to steal your social security number and sell it on the dark web, that should not be an enforceable contract, even though, again, it is definitely in the terms of service, definitely in the agreement in my website. So thank you again to the members who signed up via actualjusticewarrior.com/join. No, I'm totally kidding about that. I'm just playing. Everybody relax. But the point still needs to be proven that this is not something that is viable. And theoretically, me being able to abuse you guys financially that sign up to support me in a way that you never actually expected, being tucked away in the terms of service, is what is on the line here. This is something that could be protected by the Disney Corporation, and that is a scary thought if they succeed.
They account for circumstances that you hope don't happen, but they do. And at times, and if done in the right way, it can be enforceable. That doesn't mean that all avenues of relief are exhausted.
Piccolo is seeking more than $50,000 in damages, also citing mental pain and suffering, loss of income, and funeral expenses.
So here you have this guy saying that this is potentially enforceable, which is a scary proposition. And then we hear what I told you earlier, where the guy is suing for a little bit over $50,000 in damages, lost wages, and of course funeral expenses, which again is not a crap ton of money, not an insane amount, not an over-the-top amount. So for Disney to try to invoke this in this small scale of a case is a huge problem. It is a huge red flag. They are looking to grasp power to take this opportunity to bring it all the way down the field for a touchdown, and we need to watch out for this. And honestly, we need to put pressure on the Disney Corporation to withdraw this, to back off, and hopefully reach a settlement agreement, because unfortunately, I do believe that there is a less than 0% chance that the courts could end up siding with these multinational corporations, and then we could all end up living under this legal tyranny based on the operating agreements that every single one of the apps that we use in our day-to-day lives actually have. But you know what? Those are just my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. As per usual, if you like this video, show me by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social media, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about an asinine yet possible legal outcome in a Disney wrongful death lawsuit. Till next time.